And welcome back to another Will It Forge Watching Paint Dry stream. The subtitle of this stream is that Sick Will is a big jerk. Seriously though, I purchased some paints specifically to help me finish out this picture, and Sick Me put them away in a place I couldn't possibly forget or lose, which means, of course, that I couldn't find them for the stream today. Means that healthier me is probably going to trip over them 2 hours after the stream is over. Thankfully, I've got other parts of the picture I still want to finish and need to finish, so we're going to give that a try. And I think I saw a comment. I can't see all the comments right now. I think I saw a comment about Christmas music. Yeah, we're past the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, which means we'll play some Christmas music. Simplest on that, my rules are there's one song that's allowable before Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and I'll start with that one. After that, everything, and that one's allowed as soon as Christmas decorations come out. And then everything else is verboten, is prohibited until after Santa shows in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. And then there's a few songs that playing them as grounds for being flogged in the street or put out of everybody else's misery. Got to be careful. Apparently, YouTube's getting pickier about the language. Well, I don't much care about YouTube as far as that goes. And I'm definitely not monetized, so I'm not too worried about that anyway. One of the things I paid attention to some of the things people have been saying. I've got this new camera here. And it's pretty good as far as that goes. It looks like you're getting a little bit of delay on DLive, and that's fine. I expect a little bit of delay, but it's not broken up and pixelated and everything. So you get to see a little bit more live action. One of the things I wanted to show you is my two favorite brushes, if I can find them real quickly, for a lot of this detail work. And it's kind of why it takes so long to get some of it done. So we got this one. Trying to get it in focus. Yeah, that's a size 00 brush. That's pretty fine detail. Not quite the same though as this one, my size 000. Oops. I'm sorry. Still got my coming soon listed over. How are you folks supposed to see any details and fun stuff with coming soon over it too? What's all this then, Kyler? Oh, coming off of 2 weeks down sick time. That lovely pneumonia. And sick me is a jerk to healthy me, so I don't have all the tools in front of me as far as colors that I wanted. But my only rule for this picture is everything has to be acrylics. So I have still got some of these tubes of acrylic paints that the late Mrs. Forge had, and I'll be working with them too. In the meantime, as I get this started, and yes, I'm on both DLive and YouTube. Oh. Before I go too much further, I should let the Discord servers know that too. With being on both DLive and YouTube, I'm trying to watch the chats on both sides as well as actually doing the artwork and everything. The other thing to note, I still have to push the fluids a lot and everything, so I'm going to be taking drink breaks, and we'll just kind of squeeze them in where we can, where we need to, and go from there. We'll try to be as undisruptive to the channel as possible. Hey Kyler, how's the streaming video quality looking? Pretty good on both. That's good to hear. I specifically bought this camera because I wanted to have decent on both. Stopped doing that bubblegum and baling wire thing that I had before. And that was very much bubblegum and baling wire. I'll describe the previous in just a second. There, the shilling is up. Hey Kyler, can you throw a comment in over on YouTube just a moment? I want to make sure I can actually see those. There we go. Now I see a comment there. Perfect, perfect. So I threw the shills out there to Discord for Lords of the Night and Satsu Nation. We'll see who else shows up while I'm doing this. I always hate when that happens. Regular alert that I don't have any digital faxes out there. And yes, I did that to myself, so go figure. Now I'm about to start painting, maybe mixing a few colors as well. Let's see if I can't get the exactly what I'm looking for here. And one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I am going to start that Christmas music. Now, this is for me, traditional for a while now, the first song I tolerate, because it's the only one I tolerate before Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and I'm sure that listening to it, you will figure out why. I just have to find it in my list again here. And that's one of the cats saying that I'm not paying enough attention to them. Oh, before I get the music started, my old video hookup, I had my cell phone plugged in using an IP camera application to wirelessly feed to VLC in my PC using the screen capture from OBS to catch VLC and stream it to you folks. Now, if you wanted to know why it looked like a pixelated mess, now you know. So yeah, that's the one Christmas song I tolerate early for obvious reasons. One of the downsides of mixing your own paint is, of course, getting yourself in your work a little bit. And then it's just, this is the color. I gotta figure out where exactly I'm putting it. And that's, of course, one of the challenges as the image starts to fill up, is what goes where. And again, for any of those YouTube overlords that are checking in and saying, hey, he's playing this music, yeah, I'm playing from the notorious group Straight No Chaser, who have the broadest and most open terms, even inside their own recording contracts, where they want other people to record and share their music. Take that to the notion of copyright strikes, aside from the fact, of course, that I'm not monetized. Now, because I've only got so much Straight No Chaser, it's probably not going to be all Christmas music, but it's going to be opening up more more music because I've got Christmas music as well. And probably go next to the first Straight No Chaser piece I heard, which also happens to be one of the earliest pieces which got them noticed by a recording label when it got posted to YouTube. And so this is kind of why they're famous.
Second day of Christmas, what you looking to me? 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 4th day of Christmas, 3rd day of Christmas, what you looking to me? 5 golden rings, 4 holly grapes, 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 9th day of Christmas, on the 10th day of Christmas, what you looking to me? 8 eggs, 7 eggs, 6 eggs, 5, better not shout, you better not cry, you better not in a pear tree. On the 2nd hole, with a 7 golden rings, 4 golden 3 French and 2 turtle doves. A horse partridge in a pear tree. On the 11th day of Christmas, what you looking to me? You take a peppers, popping down, those are looking
And that's what I get for not checking my playlist before grabbing a song from the list, because that's not the best version of that song that they do, but it is pretty good, and they are a riot to watch. One of these years, I'll have the opportunity when I'm healthy, or what passes for it for me, to see them live when I'm not completely broke, too. And I'll have a chance to double down on that and actually see. I can still get claimed when they haven't, when not monetized. Capcom has been annoying that way. Well, yeah, I'd expect that from Capcom too. One of the big reason why I'm not worried about claiming is because Straight No Chaser won't claim it. They want that kind of thing out there. I'm certainly not saying that they're endorsing me or anything like that. I'm endorsing them. They're incredibly entertaining and they're very talented. And I'm figuring they might, aside from finding me occasionally annoying, they might find what I do here to be somewhat interesting as well. We'll kind of see on that. But the one thing I'm certain of is they're not going to be up and claiming it. And if they're not going to claim it, YouTube can go take a flying leap. Yeah, let's put this right here. Staying true to myself, the color wheel can also take a flying leap. As can critics of my lack of artistic process and talent. Made a whole lot more of this color than I have any intention of using on this picture. And that's the nature of the beast when I'm painting, with acrylics at least. Some of the paint is gonna get tossed. But it's not a lot, and as long as I'm happy with the results, isn't that kind of what matters, at least until this lands up in somebody else's hands? Yeah. And yeah, this picture already has an intended recipient who's probably going to totally flip her lid when she sees it. There's a coworker of mine who absolutely loves hedgehogs, but not just hedgehogs. She loves all hedgehogs, dogs, and all small furries. Recently started fostering for West Michigan Critter Haven, which is a group that takes in small animals that are losing their home or don't have a home and seeks to rehome them in a good place where they're going to have a forever home and a good loving family. Actually, when I had to move out and move into this trailer, I was not able to keep the rabbits that the family had, and rehomed them via West Michigan Critter Haven. Was very, very happy with the results. A group called Home Free with country covers. I'll have to check them out. One thing I'm thinking about doing is just reaching out to some of the artists and copyright holders and explaining the situation to them. Hey, I'm this little channel I'm not making money off this, not monetizing, just looking to add some interest to the background while I'm doing the work that I'm doing on the stream, and see if I can't get permission to expand my jukebox, so to speak, with the promise of shilling them to my viewers as well. The other thing, of course, is I've been pushing a lot of searching out into public domain and copy free stuff and pre-licensed stuff. It's just a matter of if you're not spending a lot of money on it. I don't think I have my camera. If you're not spending a lot of money on it, you have to you're kind of limited, less of the current and modern stuff, more older stuff. Now, I'm cool with some of that older classical music and everything, but there are a lot of people that get annoyed by it. Oh, these times I'm going to have to follow this braiding through, but I'm not going to do it with this color here. So there. Well, I'm going to go ahead and start another song and take a moment to figure out, because I think I want this in one or two more spots, maybe up on the face, and figure that out and get that put into. Yeah, Kyler, I could just see Monkey doing the jukebox for this, although my show's not targeted at kids. It does stay constantly family and child friendly. At least that's my best. I try my best for that. So he would have to potentially censor himself a little bit at that jukebox. Funny thing is, your comment on that actually hit the default moderation, so I had to go ahead and say, oh yeah, go ahead and show this. probably the autistic bit. And I'm not going to take offense at that because I am. So, hey. It's kind of like Monkey and I are both on the same page with the whole cripple thing. I'm going to use the word. I can take a flying leap. Feeling pretty loose and free today. Lots of people can take a flying leap, right? Now this is where I'm going to get with my more detail brush, because I feel like I'm just smearing paint on there rather than getting it exactly where I want to. And another nod to I don't care what is good or bad technique. I, of course, wash my brush immediately after painting with acrylics with it, which is a good practice to clean your brushes right away. Anyway, I also rinse it down, kind of wash it just before using it. Because even with brushes this fine, the hairs kind of go all over the place when they're dry. Now, the other thing on Monkey's Autistic Jukebox, if I had a little bit more self-confidence in everything, I'd just be my own. I'm not a great singer, but I don't have a terrible voice. I actually have a pretty decent voice and moderately good control. I've been in choirs and musicals off and on my whole life, including impromptu chorals and everything. So it's not that I can't. It's just kind of a self-confidence thing. Yeah, YouTube is no good at seeing the laughing with versus at. Hey, YouTube, if you're listening in, anybody on my stream, anybody in the comments can use the words autistic, cripple, disabled. I don't care. I own those words. I welcome them. I use them myself. I'm a gimp, okay? Get over it. Well, there goes demonetization hopes for the next year, I'm sure, but hey, I don't care. Now, I had a picture, I had a pick for the next song. I just have to figure out what I'm going to do for that. And let's see, not Viridian. I think I was going for... Oh, yeah. This is when you know the people making your colors are getting paid too much. It's a blue. It's a specific shade. It's like 443 Ultramarine. Yep. Well, that's the next color going on. Ultramarine. You got that? What is it? It's a blue. And we're going to go back to the blue going in the cup, because I'm not primarily working on Mr. Hedgehog today, because sick me misplaced my paints. Yeah, most people with disabilities you've known have the same attitude. You know what? Myself included, I have never met a single person with a disability that cares about that, as long as you're not being demeaning or degrading or discounting us because of the disability we have. And there's a big difference between the words you use and if you're being like, oh, that, say, that person's just a gimp. Now, that's a little bit different than, I mean, I laugh, man, hop along, gimpy. I'm a gimp. I'm not winning any races. You need to get out of the office faster than me? Go around. I got no problem. I'll step aside. I'll go, go right next to the cubicle wall. Seems like this one may not have gotten sealed properly the last time it was used. Let me try mixing it up in the tube. That one got moderated. So, Sick You sounds like a jerk. Yeah, Sick Me is a jerk. Sick Me is far more of a jerk than Healthy Me, that's for sure. You know what? I'm gonna start sounding like Monkey, and I'm not a swearer, but YouTube, fix your... Let's see. Well, I'm gonna have to figure that out later, because YouTube is being a pain to me. Okay, just a little glob of ultramarine. No, Kyler, the worst part about that Sick Me being a jerk is that I know this from experience because I had to deal with finding the cables for my second monitor, which I can't actually use yet because I have to find a different cable for it. I can assure you, Sick Me put the paints in a place that makes absolute and complete logical sense. And I don't mean just logical sense to Sick Me. But the problem is, because Sick Me is the one that placed them, it's not exactly the same place that Healthy Me would put them. So even though it's a sensible spot, it's not a place I'm thinking to look at the, immediate prospect. So I still can't find it. But it's going to be such an obviously good and obvious spot that, an hour, 2 hours after the stream, when I spent half an hour looking for him beforehand, an hour, 2 hours after the stream, I'm going to trip over him. Like, didn't I look here? Answer, probably, and still missed him. I'm still blaming Sick Me. Sick Me is more of a jerk than Healthy Me. Oh, this one's always a good one for the Christmas season. I'll claim the label of a humbug and kind of a Grinch too, so here we go. Fine, back to DLive. YouTube's not helping. Yeah, I don't blame you going back to DLive. I've heard plenty of negative things about DLive, but the one thing I can tell you is that the chat can be a lot more user-friendly. I think about the only way I can avoid that kind of issue in my chat is take a look again and see, because maybe the YouTube naughty speech filters are active. And if they are, maybe I have to take them off. But as I said, well, my stream is not designed, is not focused. Hear me, YouTube. My stream is not targeted for children. Not. I do work to keep it family friendly. I'm not one of those people that generally cusses up a storm or calls people mean things, at least not in the common words. If I'm going to throw an insult, it's going to be one of those Shakespearean insults. It's going to be something, you know, if you got an IQ below 90, you're not going to get it anyway. Heck, I might lose you at 110. But really, I'm generally all around a nice guy when I'm not being a jerk. The worst part, that is Boo crying out. And Boo has got no reason to be crying at all. And she is still giving her, Dad. And I know it's Boo because, Wazowski's lounging on the back of the recliner. Oops, missed a clan event. You know, things I learned pretty early on in those games is, you know, the clans generally don't live or die dependent on me. If they live or die solely dependent on me, it's probably not the best clan anyway. I'm usually pretty good, but... Big butt in there. Oh wait, was that just me looking in the mirror? Big mistake. So, a quick pause to shill my sponsor. My sponsor today is my very own Teespring store, where you can get your LaserCat approved merchandise. Links are in the description of the channel on both YouTube and DLive. And there's coffee mugs, there's shirts, blankets, throw pillows, carry bags and stuff, all with the LaserCat approved. I am going to be branching out, hopefully, with at least pictures of my backup laser safety officer, Wazowski, on some stuff too. We'll kind of see. Right now, there's the black line, which is everything white on black. And then the other regular LaserCat approved line. I know most of the pictures look kind of bland, but each item has many colors it can have with the white logo on it. And that's me shilling my sponsor, which is myself. Yeah, it's say your channel is not for children and had some comments that wouldn't go through last week. That very well might be. Of course, YouTube wouldn't tell us creators about that kind of thing. What'd you expect them to share and make sense? So, continuing on, take a look at my time. Yeah, we'll get a couple hour and 2.5 hours to finish today. I do want to make some progress too, so next track. What do you expect? They put a woman in charge? Whoops, the feminists are going to come and yell at me. Oh, disavow, disavow, disavow. I'll leave that kind. Say. I'll take it. I'll take it part way. Seems like they put at least the wrong woman in charge. I've known plenty of women that were very capable at business and the like. Even some of the smartest folks I've known have been ladies, both in high school and in college. But if you're putting a person in place only because they're a woman, well, that's the closest to political I'm going to get on my channel. I've been thinking about doing political videos and the like. If I do, they ain't going to be on this one. They won't be monetized either. But at least if YouTube decides to crack down on me for expressing an opinion, it's not going to be on this channel. I gotta tell you, I am really liking this color. I'm thinking it's going to come off a little less glossy once it's dried, which is fine. Perfectly fine. But, man, it looks pretty right now. Of course, one of the problems of painting the way I do it, I'm sure I mentioned it in other streams too, is having to be careful about not sticking your hand where you've already painted. So you end up stretching and contorting yourself in weird ways, and that nice muscle strain and shakes and twitches and everything like that. I think YouTube's big thing, as much as anything, is just ceasing to care about the little creators that have made it, what it really is and has been, and going specifically and solely to big corporate interests and everything. And like the late night shows and the news shows and everything, it's like, hello, you are catering to your competitors. You're snubbing the people who've made your platform great and playing it up with your competitors. What's next? Banning cat videos? Oh, wait, didn't I say no opinions on this? Yeah, but I'm considering the same idea if I ever decide to actually make scripted content. Technically note the YouTube feed is slightly behind DLive at the moment. Well, that's okay. I'm not actually looking at either feed. I'm just trying to keep an eye on the comments, which is cool. And whichever channel wants to play Hey, We're Ahead is up to them. As long as both are live, more or less, and going, that is cool. Yeah, I do scripted videos on this channel too, and I do whereas I could pull Lords of the Night. This apparent random is scripted for your enjoyment. Just kind of plan the whole thing ahead of time. But the real thing, and of course, scripting my videos, which I've got one coming soon that I have to script and record and assemble. I'm doing Agate in the laser. So watch for that. That I'm hoping to get either this weekend or next weekend. I'm good with scripting. And of course, I got the creepypastas, which that first one I did do another few recordings and I added some sound effects. And if you go looking for Creepy Forge or something like that, you'll find that's out there. I'm currently looking at another one. I'm trying to keep to shorter stories right now. I'm still getting the hang of this and everything, and go from there. Now, my one thought on that is to just reach out generally to the folks at Reddit that are writing some of the creepypastas and, say that specifically I'm looking for shorter stories with permission to record the narration. I'm not going to link the story, but I did find another pretty short one that I am going to see if I can't get permission to record, because I find the premise of the story absolutely hilarious and amazing at the same time, and I think it needs to be treated with a little bit of a twist. And if you can't get those fun and interesting ones, it makes it harder to work on your voice control and pitching and pacing and voice acting for creepypastas. And if anybody, including Sinatra, tells you that recording creepypasta narration doesn't require just a little bit of voice acting ability, they can all take a flying leap. Flying leaps appear to be the theme for the day. Sick Me can also take a flying leap if he's listening. Both feeds live in 5x5 sound as good as well. That is a big win for me. Despite processing all the video, well, I'm only processing it once. Restream.io is doing the heavy lifting on multicasting it and everything. But I'm glad the new camera is working. Still not giving you a face video. And I'm glad that the audio is coming through clean and everything seems to be working out well, other than occasionally bumping into the camera. That is, that's a win in my books. Hitting my head on stuff, however, is not so much a win, but what can you say? I'm tall, I've been hitting my head on stuff my entire life. In my entire life, I am not joking, I have scars from when I was 2 hitting my head on stuff and falling downstairs. Give Monkey grief for his mortal enemy, the stairs. They've been my mortal enemy for over 40 years now, so what can you say? As the saying goes, you win some, you lose some, and as Charlie Brown said, that would be nice. All right, and I think that is me done, at least for now, with Ultramarine. Before I pick my next color and continue, I am going to queue up a pair of songs, refill on my tea, and then I will be back. So enjoy the listening. Get irrationally angry at the picture, and I'll be back as quick as I can. Oh yeah, so try and write out a couple of local stories as creepypastas. The stories I heard as a young man have the potential. I would be interested in seeing those, possibly even recording them for you. So, I mean, hey, if you think you can write them out, give it a try.
the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say throw cares away. Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to young and old. Ding and the bowl, ding dong 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 is the song. Ding joyful ring, all caroling. One seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they pound, raising the sound. Oh, hill and dale, telling the tale. Gaily they ring while people sing songs of good cheer. Christmas is here. Ding, merry, merry, merry Christmas. Ding, merry, merry, merry Christmas. Ding, on they send dong with an end. Ding, joyful tone to every home. Dong are the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say throw cares away. Christmas is here, bring you good cheer to young and old. Ding and the bowl, ding dong dong is their song. Big joyful ring, all caroling. One seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they sound, raising the sound. Oh, hill and dale, telling the tale. Gaily they ring while people sing songs of good cheer. Christmas is here. Ding, merry, merry, merry Christmas. Ding, joyful, merry, merry Christmas. On they send on without end, their joyful tone to every home. On they send on without end, their joyful tone to every home. Ding dong, ding dong.
Yeah, you're right. That blue does pop, and I do as well hope that it stays vibrant. It's going to be a little less shiny, it looks like, as it dries, but it should still be really visible. And I just realized that I probably want to do a little bit more in the cup with the blue. See if I can't put it into the swirl of the shell. Maybe over here on the handle, we'll see. But I am not as done with the blue as I thought. Now, the sad part is I am starting to run low on my Straight No Chaser Christmas music. Though I'm not low on Straight No Chaser quite yet. But before I go anywhere else with it, 2 weeks ago, before I got sick, I promised a dedication song to Squeedus. And then I got sick and haven't been able to play the music and do the painting and streaming. And voice got really cracky and croaky for a little bit too, kind of like... turning around now, I can actually talk a bit, and so we're gonna go ahead and play that dedication to Squeedus now, and then we'll just go random selection through the other song music I have as well, because I'm planning on running this stream until 8 or 8:30, and if I'm paying attention to the chat and talking and everything, I'm not going to get a lot of painting done at the same time. So this one I discovered last year Christmas time when I picked up a Straight No Chaser album, and if I said it touched my heart, you get the wrong idea, because I don't have much of one of those anymore. But pretty close. It really moved me, and it's trying for a second exclusion to my Christmas before Thanksgiving prohibition. And then since I don't think, let me see my for watching right now, I'm doubting any of those watchers is Satsu, so gotta give Satsu grief about missing this one later on. And the beautiful thing is, it can be... It checks for the facts about once an hour, I think, if I recall correctly. I have to change the settings on that or something. This can be found on YouTube for streaming, so even though Satsu missed it, he can catch it later. Now, I know Satsu frequently proclaims that he doesn't have any feels, but I mean, if that one can hit me in the feels, it definitely is going to get somewhere with him, too. A little bit of a secret there between the autism and the OCD and a few other things. I got a lot less feels than Satsu. Of course, I've got 4 stepkids. That really hits in the feels. Four on YouTube, 4 here. One hopes it's not all the same people. Yep. On the homepage. Wow. Of course, if I got 4 on DLive, that kind of tells me that the DLive's running kind of low right now. But hey, on the actual homepage, I am shocked and impressed and a little bit humbled, and I don't exactly know what to say, but I gotta keep on keeping on if it's... I didn't do anything with that. Take a moment, because since I decided to branch out, my ultramarine is actually drying on my, we'll play artsy and call it my palette. What it is I end up putting my paints on paper plates. Hey, disposable. They're paper, completely biodegradable, recyclable, environmentally friendly as it gets. Especially since there's the crusade against plastic. Despite you can get biodegradable veggie plastics these days that are very functional and let's say recyclable. They're completely biodegradable. Big one is PLA. It's a corn extract base, and it is about as friendly for the environment as it gets because it's a plant to begin with. But especially sick, disposable beats washable. Because I'm still very light on the energy. I almost didn't have enough energy to stream after finding the stuff that I did find for the stream. So following that notion, I'm going to be careful. Affordable and completely valid choice for that use. Absolutely. Sometimes you just have to go disposable. And I am not going to knock anybody for having to do that. We're just going to take this little spot here. Nothing else in here is going to get the blue, I don't think. But that one spot there, it's just yelling at me for some blue. Now remember, Kyler, later tonight, Lords of the Night, or the game stream, we gotta make sure Satsu gets both barrels for missing the Squeetus dedication song. Especially since I'm betting Squishy would love that song. Just gonna go out on a limb in favor of Mama Bear there. Heck, I bet Satsu's mom would love that one. And everybody in the family loves little Princess Aaliyah, who is getting another gift from the Laser Cats. Don't tell Satsu. But we'll take that as that one's not a laser created. But we'll let him discover that one, and then that'll come out on I'm sure that'll show up on a stream. Yeah, the don't overdo it. So what I did today after resting and taking it easy for a bit, I took and just started from where I spent most of my time sitting, the chair that I slept in most of the time so I could sleep reclining instead of lying down, and just started slowly cleaning around it and branching out from there, working towards the gradual sterilization of the entire biohazard area that my apartment has become because I've been too sick to take care of things. So it's gonna slowly take shape into what I want it to become and be clean again, but I'm expecting that to actually take a couple of weeks because I really cannot have overdoing it and everything. Now, as far as the painting and streaming and everything, one of the reasons why it's so easy for me to do this is to have this be where I need it to be for a really good setup for streaming and everything. This is on the floor. And so to be able to paint, I lay out a stack of blankets and pillows and have a nice little lounge area where I'm actually laying down to do this painting and just gonna prop up on my elbows, kind of bending uncomfortably, stiff a few places and times and everything, but I'm not exerting a lot of energy, at least getting there. And I just realized that when I refilled my teacup, I actually left it over on the counter, so I'll be right back. Well, not over on the counter, in a end table next to the chair. It's just the other side of the chair, and I left it up there. And so I'm going to go ahead and queue up a couple of songs. I've gone through, I think, the whole Christmas library. If not, I'll squeeze if I spot some more, I'll toss them in there too. But we're going to go branch out to some of the rest of my Straight No Chaser catalog, and it said sticking primarily with them because their whole thing is to share it, so I'm not worried about them trying to copy strike me. On the stream, monetized or not. And then while that's playing, I'm going to work in this area here. Probably going to do every other, kind of like I did up here. It's actually a very similar design space, but with the shell spiral. So I'm going to start blue, blank, blue, blank. And that actually puts me blue right here where that's blank, which is kind of a feeling that I like to go with too. So just a second, I will cue up some music. And because I actually have a voice and, kind of functional for the most part, I will probably end up doing some singing along. So, yeah, that's what you get stuck with because it's me. Oh, I do actually have another. I do actually have one other Christmas song there, but I'm probably going to purge it from my library because Straight No Chaser does a cover of All I Want for Christmas Is You. Not my favorite song, not my least favorite song, but there are, of course, people that totally blow their top around that one. So maybe when I know for certain I've got somebody who's going to be really picky and offended by it, maybe I'll play it then. Because it's not just Sick Me that's a jerk.
One, two, three. Disney movies set the bar with stories that are bizarre, expensive toys that kids desire will bankrupt you. I have catfished a girl. I am scheming, pretending, but don't tell princess that I'm a street rat. That truth we can't hide. I just met a great guy, but will my father approve of him? He's arranged my marriage to Jafar, which makes me wonder.
In France lived a prince who was super arrogant. An enchantress put a spell on him, his face would make you wince. Found a girl named Lisbeth, only chance to break the spell. Locked in his castle forever. Stockholm Syndrome now or never. Talking clock, talking candle, might shout too much to handle. And the service here is getting quite insane. They'll fill you up with free pie, then charge for Wi-Fi out in France. And you'll stress as your guest forever is dead. Look at this stuff, isn't it neat? Too bad that all of it's wet and moldy. Wouldn't you think she's a girl who ruins everything? But who cares? No big deal. She wants more. She's trying to be where the people are, but her dad really hates those humans. Wants to be hard without those. What's the word? Oh, feet. But Ursula made a deal for her voice, which would cause any man to rejoice. But how do they sing under the sea without gurgling? There was one goal to be had, just scare the crap out of every kid into listening to their mom or dad. It's so alive until you're all behind us, who were hired by your uncle. To take your throne, have no fear. This is
Chaser, Straight No Chaser back with another episode of the Green Room Sessions here in the lobby of the American Music Theater in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Normally this is done backstage, but this place has some acoustics down. So you might hear a phone ring, you might see some good boy. So we got some help for this.
Don't let the sun go down on me. Don't let the sun. Don't let the sun go down on me. Losing everything. It's like the sun going down on me. I can't find all the right romantic line. See me once and see the way I feel. Whoa, whoa. Where I baby, no. Just because you think I mean. Just because you think I mean. Oh, no. But these cuts I have. Cuts I have. Been in love. Everything. Don't let the sun go down on me. Don't let the sun. Although I search myself, there's always someone else I see. I just allow a fragment of your side to wander free. It's losing everything. It's like the sun going down on me. Don't let the sun go down on me. Although I search myself, there's always someone else that I see. Yeah, I just allow a fragment of your life to wander free. Losing everything. Sun going down on me. Don't let the sun go down on me. Don't let it go down on me.
That's the one. All right. All right. Morgan James, everyone.
Any luck with the Discord, Kyler?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome Atlantic Records recording artist, Straight No Chaser.
Some nights I stay up, cashing in my bed. Some nights I call it a draw. Some nights I wish that my lips could build a castle. Some nights I wish they just fall off. But I still wake up, I still see your ghost. Oh Lord, I'm still not sure what I stand for. What do I stand for? What do I stand for? Most nights I don't know anymore. This is it, boy. This is what I've been waiting for. I know we break the motivation. I was never one to believe this life. Say that for the black and white. Try twice as hard, and that's like you think you forget to check the side.
falling down, I'll carry you home tonight.
Beach Boys fans in the house tonight? It's tough to do the 60s without covering a Beach Boys.
Before I let the music continue, wanted to point something out. One of the things I promise in my video description, everything is the opportunity to watch paint dry. And I just wanted to show you there is no false advertising. And thank you, Lady Gopher, for the ice cream. And welcome back to the wonderful world of watching paint dry. As you can see, we've been adding some more colors along the way. And of course, music and singing. You did miss all the Christmas music that I queued up, and unless you were listening and lurking, you missed the dedication to Squeedus. But you know what? I am going to go ahead and play that one again, not right now, but before the end of the stream, or at the end of the stream, before I disconnect. Because, hey, it's just that. It's that much of that touches me, you know. There's just not that much that does that. Right now, I always copy and paste the link to my game streams on all the Discords I am. Well, I haven't had any problems with seeing your copies and pastes from Discords before. Maybe if you reboot before your stream tomorrow, if logging out of Discord and logging back in hasn't worked. Usually, copy and paste just isn't that hard, so yeah, fingers crossed. Anyway, again, thank you for the ice cream, Lady Gopher. You can comment if you want, or stay lurking. Either way is fine. We're going to go back to music, because I have got limited time, most about 90 minutes, plus or minus a handful, before I have to stop streaming, because there is no way I'm going to try and come close to contesting with Lords of the Night in their time slot. That's one of those battles, you know, you don't just lose it, you look foolish doing so, and I try to avoid that. Back at it, because I do want to get as much progress done as we can today, because I have lost 2 weeks of work time on this picture.
Boys tune, but you know, we didn't want to just cover a Beach Boys tune. We wanted to put the straight note chaser twist on it. So we thought to ourselves, all right, what if these guys, instead of growing up out west, what if they grew up right here in the Jersey Shore? And then we thought, all right, what if these guys grew up more or less with us at the same time we did? Well, I thought the song might sound a little something like this.
1, 2, 3.
check, we had the pleasure and opportunity to listen to a group of very young, very finely dressed men who sing a cappella in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. And they're sitting like 6 feet from the PA system on each side. Can you guys still hear by now? Okay, all right, let us know how we're doing. They sounded great. Well, I gotta ask you a question before we go on to our next song. Do we have any country fans in the audience? Okay, good. What about the lovely and talented Miss Taylor Swift? Guys, I know you're a fan. Well, we're not going to sing any of Taylor Swift's music tonight. I just wanted to see who else bought the Fearless album besides myself. You bought it twice, right? That's a moot point. That's we're going to forget about that. Charlie, why don't you take it away, man, on this country song? You know I like chicken fried.
Cold beer on a Friday night. A pair of jeans that fit just right. And the radio
Well, I was raised underneath the shade of
Georgia pine. That's home. Sweet tea, pecan pie, and a homemade wine. Where the peaches grow. My house is not much to talk about, but it's filled with love and it's holding the sun on down. And a little bit of chicken fried, a cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio on. I've seen sunrise, see the love in a woman's eyes, see the touch of the precious child, no mother's love.
Well, it's funny how
There's little things in life that mean the most. Like later, what you drive or the price tag on your clothes. There's no dollar sign on peace of mind. This I've come to know. So if you would agree, have a drink with me, raise a glass and smoke to a little bit of chicken fried. A beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio on. See sunrise, see the love in a woman's eyes, feel the touch of a precious child, no mother's love.
thank God
For my life, and for the stars and stripes, may freedom forever fly.
let it rain. Salute the ones
Who died, and those who gave their lives, so we don't have to sacrifice all the things we love, like our chicken fried, a cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio on.
know like chicken fried.
Cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right.
Know like chicken fried. One more chance. Cold beer on Friday.
Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right.
Quick break in the music. Windows Update Thursday night, that would do it to you. Yeah, definitely. You know, machine guns, it'll be like charging an automated machine gun turret with a rock in my hand. Down a hallway with all the lights on. I mean, it's just, suicide missions. I'm not into that. Now, I did want to comment one thing that I said about the picture before, because I mentioned that I'm wide open on the paints as long as they're acrylics. Now, there's one exception to that, because you see I'm painting between these brown lines that were done in by the laser. Now, when I get to all the other colors finished, except possibly what I'm going to do around the edges here and in the handle space, once I get to everything else finished, those lines, I'm going to be doing them over with a paint pen, which is a black oil pen. It's just going to make those lines pop out, but even more, it's going to make all the colors that just seem vibrant but kind of running into each other, they're just going to really explode out. I do have another picture that I've done for reference where I've seen that, and it's, well, let's just say that when I'm done with that, all of y'all are going to be stunned at the difference. And this is going really nicely around the alternating. Now, the spaces between, what I'm actually probably going to do, I think, is one bland color, maybe a flesh tone, and then skip one and then do a brighter color, or do the bland, bright kind of thing. We'll kind of see where I get to from there. I don't think I'm going to hit that point tonight. But you never know. I'm making some decent progress as long as I'm keeping the tunes going. With that said, back to the tunes. And I'm guessing that this blue is really my color for the day. It's definitely gonna be prominent in the teacup, but balanced out by being completely absent in the hedgie. But I still think it's kind of idiotic in the naming. So, is here ultramarine? Yep. But it is a great primary color. I guess no pun intended with blue in general being a primary color, but it's a great primary color for this cup. And so it's definitely going to get some distinguishing pride of place. And as I said, at the same time, completely absent on the hedgehog. Well, some of the colors do get used on both the cup and the hedgehog, and even the leaves. Leaves aren't visible. Leaves. This one here is going to show only on the cup. It's going to stand out that way. And then if anybody asks me and say, oh yeah, that's a special color on the cup, it's called ultramarine, named by some moron. And that kind of, it really, the naming of it kind of makes me think it belongs in a Douglas Adams novel. Kind of up there with Ultraviolent. It burned through all that music already. Let's see. Oh, I found a Christmas song that wasn't a violently opposed Let Me Be a Jerk Later one. That's not a name for a class in Warhammer 40K. Yeah, I hear you there. So we're going to jump back to the Christmas tune for a moment because I just found this. Sir, our Ultramarines have met the goblins. We ought to ask Scribe to write a storyline based on that. Oh, found another straight no chaser. Thanks for the follow, Lightwaves. Enjoy the Watching Paint Dry show. It is artsy stuff as arty as I get. It is chat. It is music. It is jokes. 2 Christmas songs that I missed before. So hey, let's hit them. No, Kyler, I have not heard that parody. I am not sure if I want to hear it or if I need to avoid it, but we'll see. Sooner or later, all things on the internet tend to hit me, so we'll see. calls his channel Merry Maple Men these days. You may have to check that out. One of those possibly unavoidable, at the same time, maybe terrified of what I'll run into there. So if you notice, we got that ultramarine. We got it scattered in the handle. We got it coming across here. We got it running around the spiral and right up in this corner. And then we got this section here of the cup. This section here of the cup just not touched by it. Oh yeah, we got a stripe here, a stripe here. So I'm having fun. Would you steer me wrong? I'm trying to decide if you'd steer, if you wouldn't do it deliberately, or if you generally wouldn't, but on occasion, oh hey, this would be a great joke to pull on Will. I'm leaning in the direction of not deliberately, so I'm gonna give you that. Hello, Evelyn 0210106. Evelyn, welcome to the show. Watching paint dry. It is literally watching paint dry. If you came here earlier, we painted several of these colors that are now quite dry. It's also me being arty of a sort, artistic, about as artistic as I get in general. People say I'm too self-deprecating. I'm like, honey, I was deprecated long before self came into this. But it's being kind of arty. It's being chatty, music, a little bit of singing. I don't do a lot of unaccompanied singing. It's not that I can't necessarily, but I lack self-confidence a little bit. So that's where that limitation comes in. But if I got music going, I'm more than happy to sing along with it. As I've explained other times, pretty much stick with, other than like some royalty-free stuff, which leaves you mostly in classics and classical and really old stuff. I tend to stick with Straight No Chaser, just because they're not a bunch of jerks looking for a copyright strike. They want their music shared and out there, so we get to have extra fun with it. Maybe the occasional this would be a great joke to pull on Will, but not this time, pinky swear. Okay. I'll take that. I will take that. I will do some, I'll have to do some searching later, but I'll do some searching on that, and we'll see. I just realized this color that I have exactly where it is going to go. Now comes the biggest challenge of the Watching Paint Dry show, aside from putting up with me, is since I paint by color, not by section, even though it's not marked for colors, obviously, I sometimes find myself having to paint over and around places that are already wet, which I've not painted myself this time, other than mixing a color earlier, but it is always a risk. So I picked a color. I'm actually going to take and stick it in this space under the eye and around these boxes. So I got to paint over, well, I got to kind of reach over the ultramarine. Big joke at this point on the channel, are going to be in the future, that I painted earlier. So while I'm getting into that, line up a few more songs so I can focus on this, because I've got at most 45-50 minutes left on the stream, and I'd like to make some more progress on that. Oh. Before, so this one's gonna be just a one song lineup, because I did find another Christmas song. I'm gonna have to like sort these out. Thanks for the Lemon Lady Gopher. So I have to sort these out to Christmas and non-Christmas just so I can find them easily. Okay. And now I'm going to line up a few non-Christmas songs. If I come across a Christmas song, I'm going to have to like set it aside for the next string because I got, well, not the next stream, but the next string of music because I got to get a little bit unbroken time in here. And this is going to give you a notion of the eclectic tastes I have because we don't use Straight No Chaser doesn't get playtime just because they're Straight No Chaser. Straight No Chaser gets playtime because I enjoy their music. Let's see. Including some of their wacky medleys, so you can get a feeling for some of that. With this run here.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Pausing a moment. Sorry, hi Lucifer Morningstar. I failed to keep up with the YouTube chat over there. Yeah, SNC is an awesome one. goes pretty good. We're obviously making some progress with the picture. Been taking advantage of the music to reduce my general chat distraction as far as just talking along. It allows me to get some extra work done on the art. Their Stand By Me and Lion Sleeps Tonight are absolutely amazing. Actually, this group of songs has The Lion Sleeps Tonight. Oh, I get you to check out the a cappella genre, huh, Kyler? Well, I am going to have to fill you in on a couple others that I've run into because just totally amazing. It's more single singers and duets and everything, solos and duets, just or overlaying themselves multiple times for different parts of the songs. Just amazing. But I won't play them on my stream unless I can get some direct permission, because as far as I know, they don't have quite as open mentality as Straight No Chaser, and I'm not going to have my stream claimed by somebody. So back to the music and back to the painting, but I will try to keep an eye on both chats. A quick answer for you, Kyler. Probably not on that Capcom claim thing, because I don't think they do anything to promote anybody that they've claimed out there. They just throw the claim out there and say, hey, we own this. If you make money from it, it's actually ours. And I don't think they go anything beyond that, so they claim it and you're kind of SOL. Sucks. Really sucks. It's one of the reasons why I'm trying very hard to keep the things that can't be legitimately copy claimed. Which is one of the reasons why, again, I run Straight No Chaser. Why? Because they love to see their stuff shared. It's how they get their contract in the first place. Hey, thanks for the Ice Cream Okie Native. Welcome to the stream. We are literally watching paint dry, as well as getting paint applied and music and a little bit of singing in chat. I'm not quite as much self-confident as Monkey, so you don't get me singing out of the background music, but I am doing some singing. Now, I'm going to move this a moment because I want to... I got the the unofficial subtitle of this show is that Sick Will is a jerk. See, I've got paints for all of this space in here on the Hedgehog. And I got the colors, and sometime in the last 2 weeks, Sick Will put the paints away. So they're somewhere in my apartment. I got less than 1,000 square feet. I got less than 900 square feet. So somewhere in here that's going to make absolute sense once I see it. But because I don't think quite like Sick Will when I'm healthy, I can't find them right now. 90% chance I'll trip over them before the end of the night, just after the stream is over. So because of that, I've been focusing, instead of on Mr. Hedgie and the leaves above him. Oh. Sorry about that. Instead of Mr. Hedgie and the leaves above him, I've been focusing primarily on his teacup. And thank you for the lemons, Lady Gopher. Lemon. And because I still am trying to get a little bit more done. Yeah, take a moment and figure out else I want this color, because it's a little bit more, well, it's not one that pops by itself. So it's got to, it has to pop by contrasting colors and then the black lining that I'm gonna put in. So we'll see where I go ahead and put this. Anyway, back to some more of the music.
Be happy. Forget it.
Near the village, the peaceful village, the lion sleeps tonight. Near the village, the quiet village, the lion sleeps tonight. Just like that. Hush, my darling, don't fear, my darling, the lion sleeps tonight. Hush, my darling, don't fear, my darling, the lion
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Steve Morgan. Superior tenor. Superior tenor.
We may only have tonight, But till the morning sun, you're mine, all mine. Play the music, boy, and sway to the rhythm of love. My head is stuck in the clouds. She begged me to come down, says boy, quit fooling around. I told her I love the view from up here. The warm sun and wind in my ear will wash the world from above as it turns to the rhythm of love. We may only have tonight, but till the morning sun, you're mine, all mine. Play the music, Lord, and sway to the rhythm of love. My heart beats like a drum, a guitar string to the strum, a beautiful song to be sung. She's got blue eyes deep like the sea. They roll back when she's laughing at me. She rises up like the tide the moment her lips meet mine. We may only have tonight, but till the morning sun, you're mine, all mine. Play the music, Lord, and sway to the rhythm of love. When the moon is low, we can dance in slow motion, and all your tears will subside. All your tears will dry. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. We may only have tonight, but till the morning sun, you're mine, all mine. Play the music, Lord, it's way to the rhythm of love. Play the music, Lord, it's way to the rhythm of love. It's way to the rhythm of Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, and evening TV. Everywhere you look, there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look, there's a place, somebody who loves you. Everywhere you look, when you're lost out there and you're all alone, the light is waiting to carry you home. Everywhere you look, and everywhere you look, zooming about, out.
Let me tell you, there's a story about a man named Jed, a boy about a near bed that kept his family fed. And then one day he was shooting for some food, and up from the ground came a bubbling crew. Boys, black gold, Texas tea. Well, next thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. Skin folks said, Jed, move away from there. They said, California is the place you ought to be. Lift up the trunk and he moved to Beverly Hills, that is. Swimming pools, movie stars. Bum 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 bum.
Show me that smile, yes. Don't waste another minute on your crying. We know in the end, the best is ready to begin. As long as we got each other, we got the world spinning right in our heads, baby, you and me. We gotta be the luckiest dreamers, never to dream it. As long as we keep on living, we can take anything that comes our way. Ready to shine all the time. We got each other, sharing the laughter and love. Sometimes the world looks perfect, nothing to rearrange. Sometimes you just get a feeling like you need some kind of change. No matter what the odds are this time, nothing's gonna stand away. There's pain in my heart that a long lost friend gives every dark street a light at the end. Standing tall on the wings of my dreams, rise and fall on the wings of my dreams. The rain and thunder, the wind and haze are bound for brighter days. My life is my dreams. Nothing's gonna stop me now.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Is he strong? Listen, bud. He's got a radioactive blood. Look now. There goes the Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man,
does whatever a spider can. Shooby-Doo or Letty Crew, find him an octopus on Japan with hair. Then goes the Spider-Man in the heat of night.
At the scene of the crime,
With the speed of light, he arrives just in time. Spider-Man's master plan, building a little spider clan. Fighting for special interest groups. Look out! Wherever there's a bang, you'll find a great big hang. You'll find a Spider-Man.
Yeah, the MASH theme song also has words to it, but they don't play it at the beginning of the show. Of course, the MASH theme song is titled Suicide is Painless, which might be why. And as you can see, I am prone to my own mishaps. This happened right down here. Now most of the wet paint wiped off the other acrylics, and thankfully these three colors here are standard colors from bottles that I've got lying around here or small paint pots, so it's going to be easy to touch that up later. Considering the nature of it, I might even touch that up off stream because I'm not painting a new section. We'll kind of see. This color I'm applying right now, I made from two other colors that I have, so I can't be certain I'm going to be able to recreate it, so I want to do specific sections. Now, I'm not going to put this anywhere in the spiral here, so I don't have to worry about that part or the time constraints that I'm going to run into very soon.
Nothing crazy is gonna happen. I'm only here to perform.
God, we're back again. Brother, sister, everybody sing. We're gonna bring the flavor, show you how. I got a question for you, better answer now. Am I original? Yeah. Am I the only one? Yeah. And am I sexual? Am I everything you need? You better rock your body now, everybody. Yeah. Rock your body. Yeah. Everybody, rock your body right. Backstreet's back, alright. Alright. Even in my heart, I see that you're not being true to me. Deep within my soul, I feel that love ain't like it used to be. Sometimes I wish I could turn back time. Impossible as it may seem, but I wish I could so bad. Baby, you better quit playing games with my heart. Quit playing games with my heart before you tear us apart. Quit playing games with my heart. I should have known from this. You know you got us. You're tearing us apart. Quit playing games with my heart. Na 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 baby. Na 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 na. 'Cause my love is all I have to give. Without you, I don't think I could live. I wish I could give the world to you, but love is all I have to Can this be true? Tell me, can this be real? How can I put into words what I feel? My life was complete. I thought I was home. Why do I feel like I'm losing control? Never thought that love could feel like this. And you changed my world with just one kiss. How can it be that right here with me there's an angel? It's a miracle. Your love is like a river, peaceful and deep. Your soul is like a secret that I never could keep. When I look into your eyes, I know that it's true. God wants to spend a little more time on you. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da da da. Oh baby, baby, how was I supposed to know? Something wasn't right here. Oh pretty baby, how could I have let you go? Now you leave me crying. Show me how you want it to be. Tell me baby, I need to know now, because my loneliness is killing me. I must confess, I feel relieved. When I'm not with you, I lose my mind. Give me a sign. Hit me, baby, one more time. My loneliness is killing me. And I must confess, I still believe. When I'm not with you, I lose my mind. Give me a sign. Hit me, baby, one more time.
Yeah, Kyler, that ultramarine is really going good. I think I'm going to like the final result on that. Now, I'm actually going to finish this one spot here, and then I think I'm done with this color. I'm about to shut the stream down. I'm going to play that dedication to Aaliyah one more time. And then I am going to open the chest. I take a look. I've definitely made enough from the donations. Thank you, folks, to make sure it's rounded to the point where I can open it. It's not a lot, but it is definitely a thank you back. And then I'll be go ahead and shutting it down. So if you can hang around that long, Kyler, you can get in a little bit of rewards there. You've been here since the beginning of the stream for certain. So this is the song that I played in tribute to Aaliyah. It's definitely touches the heart of even the coldest humbug like myself. And I had a perfect song for First Christmas for the Child. Doesn't matter what child, but we've got our sweetest to for everybody to love on. So And thank you for that payback. And since I'm being sentimental at the moment, this is the closing song, and we'll end the stream. Thank you so much. Hope to see folks over on Ranting Monkeys channel for Lords of the Night, and then also 2 Cents Plus for the gaming stream later tonight, tomorrow, whatever. Kyler's show, usually at 4 Eastern time, Sunday afternoons. We'll be watching for that too. So, closing out with this, and enjoy.
Our first ever New Year's show. Thank you all for coming out, and hopefully we'll be doing this for 30 years from now. We'll be doing New Year's shows. This has been something we've been thinking about doing for a long time, and there's no appropriate song other for us to do at this point. Once a year we get to do it. So.
I won't be able to. I can't.